Guys, so in today's video, we'll be discussing about Leh Ladakh in the month of June 2025. What you should be expecting in terms of the weather, the road condition, the places that you should be visiting. Overall, is it a good time to be visiting Leh Ladakh? And most of all, what is the budget and the things that you need to be packing when you're planning your trip to Leh Ladakh in the month of June 2025? Now, keep in mind that the weather in the month of June is pleasant and sunny, so that the daytime temperature will be anywhere between 18 degrees to 25 degrees, while the night temperature will be anywhere between 3 degrees to 8 degrees. Now, this temperature fluctuation entirely depends on where you are. In places like Leh, it might be a little bit warmer, and in Hundar, it might be warm, but in other places like close to Pangong or Somoriri Lake, or maybe in places near Lamayuru, it's going to be much cooler. Now, one very important thing that you need to remember when you're traveling to Leh Ladakh in the month of June is that both the roads are open. That is, the gateway from Manali and Srinagar should be open because by June the snow should have melted because global warming is real and the snow is melting even faster. So, even though winter has been late in 2025, the roads by June will be open, even though the Manali Leh road might not be completely snow free, but it will definitely be open for you to travel via Manali and exit via Manali. The ideal routing for the month of June would be to start in Srinagar and end your journey in Manali. So, this way you get an experience of both the roads. But remember, for people who are not comfortable with long journeys, it is not advisable to do the routing that I just mentioned because it's going to be a lot of journey and a lot of travel. Now moving on, the road condition from Manali Leh will be open, but it will be a lot of snow, especially at Baralacha. You're going to experience quite a lot of snow. But beyond that, it's going to be snow free after you cross Sarchu and once you enter into Ladakh region. The Manali Leh road, even though it is open, it's the bus also should open to Leh by I would say the first week of June latest. The HRTC bus will be moving from Manali to Leh. So if you're interested in taking the bus to Leh, you can book it directly from their website. The Srinagar Leh road is a better option because it's much shorter and much better made, and at the same time, the road is much more scenic in terms of view, and it's not very high compared to what the Manali Leh road is. High in terms of the altitude that you'll be climbing. If you're someone who's planning on flying directly to Leh, then I would recommend plan your trip after the 20th of June because till the 15th, 20th of June, the cost of the trips are very expensive because of summer holidays in India. The families travel, and that makes the flights by default to be costlier than after the 15th to 20th of June. So keep checking flights, and you can book it after the 20th. If you get a better deal during the first week of June, you can go ahead and book because it's a very good time to be flying in and out of Leh in the month of June. What are the places that you should be visiting in the month of June? Everything in June, when you're traveling to Ladakh in June, everything is open. So by default, you can visit whatever you feel like as long as you have two things in hand. One is time, and the other thing is the budget. Because traveling around Ladakh isn't affordable, and I wouldn't say it's not affordable, but it's not really a place that a lot of people can afford when they are on a very shoestring kind of a budget because the budget that you have for the rest of the Himalayan regions won't really apply to Ladakh. It's pretty costly in terms of transportation, and when you are planning a trip, it is more advisable to tag along with a group or have at least a minimum of four people in your trip so that you can make the cost more affordable because the cheaper it is, the better it is because cheaper in terms of the cost per person would only drop if you have a group of people. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing because regardless of what you want, you will have to hire a vehicle which will cost the same for for two people or for six people. So by default, just make sure you can hit the number of 4 to 6 people when you're planning your trip to Ladakh. Ideally, in the month of June, do not miss out on Somoriri, Hanle, and Turtuk. These are three places that you should be visiting. Turtuk is on the border of India Pakistan, very close to the border, and is a beautiful vibe known for its apricots, which you will get in the month of June, and at the same time, it has the Baltic experience. Hanle is known for its observatory and for the stargazing. So when you're planning your trip to Ladakh and you're going to Hanle, just make sure by default that you're going there on a no moon night or a night which is close to a no moon. If you're going there on a full moon night, it's pointless because you're going to see only the moon. Somoriri is an offbeat lake which is closer, which is on the way to Manali, I would say rather. You have to cross Tang Langla, Moray Plains, and then you reach Somoriri. So if you're exiting via Manali, Somoriri makes complete sense to get there. If you're planning on starting your journey in Manali and putting Somoriri in the start of the journey, that's also possible. But just make sure you acclimatize well. Now, the month of June, even though it is summer and it's a little bit warmer, do not avoid and do not underestimate what acclimatization is in Ladakh, because by default, you're going to fall sick if you're not well acclimatized and your body is not suited for the environment. So do not skip this and do not come with your summer best clothes thinking that it's a road trip around Goa, because it's not. Even though it is summer, it is still going to be cold and windy. So by default, come well prepared. Carry a good pair of shoes, carry your sunglasses, carry plenty of woolen wear. Woolen wear, I would say, carry at least a couple of jackets, one light and one thick, so that if the weather changes, you can alternate between both of them depending on what it is. Make sure that you have a very good pair of shoes. I will repeat myself again, because without having a good pair of shoes, you're going to struggle in Leh Ladakh. Another important thing that you need to have is your lip gel and your sunscreen, because it can get really harsh in the daytime and it can get really cold in the nights, which will lead to your lips cracking, and that will be a real problem for you. If you're planning on taking a biking trip around Leh Ladakh, the month of June is a good time. But again, just start from Srinagar and end in Manali, because if you're starting the other way around, the snow might not melt and you might get stuck at Manali or close to Manali, depending on the weather conditions. Taking a self-drive trip to Leh Ladakh in the month of June is also advisable, but provided that the vehicle is yours and you have at least a couple of people who can help you out with the driving. If you're one person planning on driving the entire Leh Ladakh, it's very risky, because anything can happen at any time and you might need a backup driver, and not having one is a recipe for disaster. Now, by default, what is the budget that you need to have for Ladakh for a 1 week trip? Now, it again comes down to how many people you are in the group. If you are a couple, if you're two people and you're just looking to do Turtuk and the basics of Pangong, Nubra Valley, and Ladakh, it will cost you anywhere between 25 to 30,000 per person, depending on the kind of vehicle accommodation you are opting for. Now, if you are looking for a longer trip that includes Hanle and Somoriri, that will cost you anywhere between 45 to 50,000 per person for two people. The more the number of people, the cheaper the trip will get. But honestly, in all reality, Ladakh in the month of June is a great time to be going there. It's the start of season, it's the start of summer season in Ladakh. And overall, if you're someone who's looking for snow, do not be upset, because there's very high probability that it will snow at Kardungla and Changla. If not snow, there will definitely be snow left over from the previous months. It's even in the month of June that snowfall has happened in Nubra Valley, not Nubra Valley, but the gateway to Nubra Valley, that is Kardungla and Changla Pass, which is the gateway to Pangong. So do not be disappointed that June means no snow. It can snow, and it's anything is possible when you're traveling to Leh Ladakh. Now, finally, if you're someone who's planning a trip to Leh Ladakh and are looking to join a group or looking for a private trip, we have both options available. You can click on the link in the description in this video, and you'll get all the details from our website related to our trips to Leh Ladakh. You can either WhatsApp our team and confirm your booking, or you can directly book from our website. All the details are mentioned on our website, from the trip video to the blueprint to FAQs, you name it, it's all there. Now, if you're looking to get just information from us and you're seeking information, do not WhatsApp us, but just leave a comment in the comment section under this video, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Remember, Ladakh without planning is a disaster economically and in terms of your time and the routing that you're going to do there. Do not even consider going to Leh Ladakh in the month of June, thinking that once you reach Leh, you will get a really cheap deal, and all the information that you've gathered in Leh Ladakh from your research is just about getting people to pre-book early. It is not. When you go to Leh Ladakh in the month of June, you're going to realize that there's a lot of crowd, and by default, you're going to end up spending way more than what you are going to spend if you book it and plan it well in advance. So plan well, plan with plenty of time, minimum 7 to 10 days. Anything shorter than that is going to be risky if you're planning on doing everything in Ladakh. And most of all, do not run through your trip. Take it easy, take it light, and take it fun. And remember, the final thing, rafting in Leh Ladakh is at its best and at the start of season in the month of June. So if you're looking for an adventure activity, rafting is the thing that you should be doing. Till our next video for Leh Ladakh, stay happy, stay safe, and stay blessed.